guys!
Happy Mardi Gras!
Happy Mardi Gras!
This episode will be coming to you on Fat Tuesday instead of Wednesday this week.
Whoop whoop! Y'all get an early one.
Yeah, we just had some king cake.
Oh.
Chelsea got the baby.
I got the baby. What sucks is, you get the baby. You're the one that has to provide the cake the next year. I provided the cake this year.
Yep.
But next year, I think I'm going to try my hand at making it. This year, I bought it.
Yeah, we bought it from a local ice cream shop that also does, like, coffee and cakes and stuff.
Yeah, and we've never had a king cake before, neither one of us.
No. It was so good.
Fucking delicious. We both bit into it, and we were like, oh.
And then, the man has returned. My bing bonger went off. We've got, you'll see pictures on our socials of us. We've got little headbands on. Say Happy Mardi Gras. Mine's wacky. Mine has springs on it. We've got some beads.
I handed her beads. I tried to get her to show me her titties, but she wasn't down for it.
Well,
I mean, we're best friends. We're close, but like, I don't think we're that close.
This cat's being weird. She just climbed into a Dollar Tree bag and
she stretched her leg out like, look at my butt.
So, this week, I'm going to give you the history of Mardi Gras, because I didn't know where it came from or anything, why it started, and then we'll move on to you've got food, right?
Food and drinks, traditional food and drinks for Mardi Gras.
Alright. So, my source for this week is MardiGrasNewOrleans.com, which I think is the official website for Mardi Gras.
If not, it should be.
Yeah. So Mardi Gras can be traced back all the way to medieval Europe, where it passed through Rome and Venice in the 17th and 18th centuries to the French House of the Bourbons. From here, the traditional revelry of Boeuf, I'm not French, Gras, or fatted cow, followed France to her colonies. On March 2nd, 1699, Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne Sieur de Bienville, what a mouthful, a French-Canadian explorer, arrived at a plot of ground about 60 miles south of New Orleans and named it Point du Mardi Gras, after his men realized that it was the eve of the festival, is how he named this place. Bienville also established Fort Louis de la Louisiana, which is now Mobile, in 1702. In 1703, the tiny settlement of Fort Louis de la Mobile celebrated America's very first Mardi Gras. In 1704, Mobile established a secret society, similar to those that form the current Mardi Gras cruise, which I had never heard that term before.
Crew, though, it's spelled with a K.
Yeah, it's Krewes.
Yeah.
This society lasted until 1709, and in 1710, the Boeuf, it's Bouef, and it's French. Gras Society was formed and paraded from 1711 through to 1861. The procession was held with a huge bull's head that was pushed along on wheels by 16 men. Later, Rex would parade with an actual bull draped in white, signaling the coming Lenten meat fast. And this occurred on Fat Tuesday. New Orleans was established in 1718 by Bienville, and by the 1730s, Mardi Gras was celebrated openly in the city, but not with the parades that we know of today. In the early 1740s, the governor of Louisiana, Marquis de Vondre, I really struggle with names. He established elegant society balls, which became the model for the New Orleans Mardi Gras balls of today. See, I also didn't realize that there were balls associated. By the late 1830s, New Orleans held street processions of maskers with carriages and horseback riders to celebrate Mardi Gras. Dazzling gaslight torches lit the way for the crew's members and lent each event an exciting air of romance and festivity. In 1856, 6 young Mobile natives formed the Mystic Crew of Comus, invoking John Milton, who was a poet, his poem Hero Comus, to represent their organization. Comus brought magic and mystery to New Orleans with dazzling floats and masked balls. Crew members remained anonymous. In 1870, Mardi Gras' second crew, the 12th Night Revelers, was formed. This is the first recorded account of Mardi Gras throws. Around this time, newspapers began to announce Mardi Gras events in advance, and they even printed Carnival edition lithographs of the parade's fantastic float designs after they were rolled through the procession and were carefully guarded. At first, these reproductions were small and details could not be clearly seen, but beginning in 1886 with Proteus's Parade, visions of other worlds, and chromolithographs could be produced in full saturated color, doing justice to the float and costume designs of Carlotta Boniface, Charles Britton, and B.A. Wickstrom. Each of these designers' work was brought to life by talented Parisian papier-mâché artist Georges Soirée, who was responsible for creating all of the Carnival's floats and processional outfits for 40 years. And the only reason why I even brought up like the lithographs and all of that is I was first a photographer, and the history of that stuff just excites me, if no one else. In 1872, a group of businessmen invented a King of Carnival, Rex, to preside over the first daytime parade. To honor the visiting Russian Grand Duke Alexis Romanov, the businessmen introduced Romanov's family colors of purple, green, and gold as Carnival's official colors. Purple stands for justice, gold for power, and green for faith. This was also the Mardi Gras season that Carnival's improbable anthem, If Ever I Cease to Love, was cemented, due in part to the Duke's fondness for the tune. During the following year, floats began to be constructed entirely in New Orleans rather than France, culminating with Comus's magnificent The Missing Links to Darwin's Origin of Species, in which exotic papier-mâché animal costumes served as the basis for Comus to mock both Darwin's theory and local officials, including Governor Henry Warmoth. And in 1875, Governor Warmoth signed the Mardi Gras Act, which made Fat Tuesday a legal holiday in Louisiana, and it remains as such. These traditions continue today, where music, parades, picnics, floats, and excitement still ring through the streets of New Orleans during the celebration each year. And revelers know to wear costumes, or at least dress in purple, green, and gold, and adorn themselves with long beads caught from the floats of previous parades. You'll see lots of crazy costumes, kids with their families, and both locals and tourists. And parade goers will sit on the ground, which I don't know about all that.
Right.
Throw balls, play music, eat all of the great food that is available in the various restaurants, and watch the crowds walk by between parades. And on Mardi Gras Day, the majority of non-essential businesses are shut down because of the celebration. And if you ever plan to visit, the official Mardi Gras website recommends you bring a large backpack to haul away all of your beads and trinkets that you will catch during the parades. Now, where do the beads come in? Which we're wearing some with little cute little crowns. The throwing of trinkets to the crowds was started in the early 1870s by the 12th night revelers, and it is a time-honored expectation for young and old alike. And in 1884, Rex started using medallions instead of trinkets. These medallions are represented by today's doubloons, aluminum, and anodized in many different colors. I think now they have like plastic little, yeah. Let's see. In the Bacchus parade, the king's float throws doubloons with the image of the celebrity king on one side of the doubloon. If you're lucky enough to catch one, hold on to it. But the most prized throws are the crew's signature throws. Zulu has its famous coconuts, and many other crews offer hand-decorated items, including Muse's shoes, Nick's purses, Alla genie lamps, Carrollton shrimp boots, and the list goes on and on. Most crews have medallion beads that feature that year's theme. And other popular throws include cups, otherwise known as New Orleans dinnerware, long pearl beads, and stuffed animals. And some throws even light up. But be warned, if you're at your first parade and reach down to pick up a doubloon with your hand, your fingers may never be the same. Many stomp on doubloons in their rush to claim them, so you might get your fingers crushed. Is that light flickering?
I didn't see that.
But if you're standing next to a bunch of old grandmothers dressed in high heels and Playboy bunny outfits, don't think your chances are any better. They may be old, but they are fast on their feet, and those heels have spikes.
I want to see
somebody's grandma dressed up as a Playboy bunny. Yeah. So, in my research, was curious as to where, because I've always heard you have to flash your titties for beads. So, this lovely website, the one that I'm pretty sure is the official Mardi Gras website. So somebody asked, I've heard that it's a tradition on Bourbon Street for women to bare their breasts to the crowd for beads. Can someone explain this? Where did this tradition come from? And their answer, as a fifth-generation New Orlean, let me say this was never and is still not a tradition. Saying it is a tradition is like saying that people who get drunk and pass out on Bourbon Street are following tradition as well. Thankfully, this does not occur everywhere in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, but mostly just in the Bourbon Street area of the French Quarter. That's also an area known for its strip joints, where those interested in this sort of thing can see it year-round. You can see titties anytime. And it says, let me explain why you may have heard this rumor. Within the last 10 or so years, a few spring break aged tourists visiting our city have started getting drunk during the parades on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, causing them to lose their inhibitions. This has drawn a lot of onlookers. The end result is that certain types of individuals are now attracted to the French Quarter in the evenings after the parade. Throughout the year, the beautiful balconies in the French Quarter are noted for being a wonderful place to enjoy the history, atmosphere, and culture of the city as the sounds of jazz drift by after a fantastic meal. During Mardi Gras, many think of them as a place to get away from the crowd surges below. Bourbon Street balconies during Mardi Gras are now sold to news media, large corporations, or long-term customers up to 5 years in advance.
Damn.
Yeah. Sadly, many bystanders caught in this crowd will never return to Mardi Gras because they don't realize they did not experience the real Mardi Gras. The flashing for beads and related behavior does not occur in other areas of the city. The Mardi Gras that locals grew up with, enjoyed, and love is occurring in every other part of New Orleans and the surrounding suburbs, but not in the French Quarter. The large traditional Mardi Gras crews, who bring you the greatest free show on earth, do not even parade through the quarter because there is a size restriction on the floats in that area. There are some small foot parades through the French Quarter, but nothing like what you see in photos and videos, or that you would normally think of when you hear the word parade. That is why you never see a large parade with floats filmed from a balcony in the quarter, only the crowds after the parades. So, it sounds like locals don't like the flashing for beads.
All I can think of is, yeah, girl, get your tits out.
I always think of the Viva La Bam episode.
Yeah, Party Gras.
The two where I think it was 2 parts, 2 episodes. There was the traveling to, and then Mardi Gras, because Ryan Dunn on his little motorbike.
R.I.P. Ryan.
Because they tried to wake him up, and he wouldn't get up. And they said, you know what? We're fucking leaving you. And they left him on a motorcycle. And then he woke up, and he was scooting all the way to Mardi Gras.
So, funny story, since you're talking about the flashing and whatnot. So, growing up, my dad's family always had, like, an annual family reunion where everybody would get together and we'd all eat and hang out and play. Like softball. The place that we did it, there was, like, a softball field, and there was playgrounds and shit like that. So, we'd all, like, hang out. It was, like, a whole day thing. So, it was always in, like, August, July or August. So, I have a great aunt and a great uncle that I can specifically remember. And, like, in my mind, they were always, like, old.
Yeah.
But, like, they really weren't that old at the time. But, like, I remember specifically there was one year, and, like, I knew Mardi Gras. I knew what it was. You know, I've never been to Mardi Gras. But, like, I didn't get that, you know, I heard you flash your boobs for beads, whatever, you know. But, like, I remember one year my uncle was standing at the trunk of his car, and he was showing people some pictures. Like, there were other people standing around, and he was showing them pictures. Mm-hmm. And when I got close, my mama was like, no, you can't see those. And then I later found out that it was, like, pictures from where they had gone to Mardi Gras. Now, keep in mind, they were probably, I would say at that point, were probably, like, 60s.
Yeah.
50s, 60s. They had gone to Mardi Gras. My great uncle had taken pictures. And, like, I'm like, you just know, this dirty old man with his booby pictures, and, like, everybody's standing around just dying laughing. It's just, that will be a memory I will always remember. Every time I think about Mardi Gras, that's what I think about.
Well, so, you know the Mardi Gras masks?
Yeah.
Those have been worn, masks like that, have been worn by different societies for centuries. Some groups wear them for rituals, some for celebrations, and still others for the performing arts. Mardi Gras masks in particular originated in ritual celebrations for the performing arts. New Orleans has been celebrating Mardi Gras for hundreds of years and is the largest masked party in North America. In the beginning, I'm getting my toes bit. Quit. In the beginning, masks worn during Mardi Gras allowed wearers to escape society and class constraints. When wearing a mask, carnival goers were free to be whomever they wanted to be and mingle with whatever class they desired to mingle with. However, they were also considered to be a diversion for poor people, and women who wore masks had their reputation questioned. Today, everyone wears masks during Mardi Gras. In fact, float riders are required to wear masks by law. And on Fat Tuesday, everyone is free to wear masks, adding to the excitement and magic of celebrations throughout the city. And that is what I've got.
I like it.
I'm excited to hear about all the food.
Oh, man. Love food.
Same.
So I'm always down to bring to you guys different things that involve food. So we mentioned in our New Orleans episode last time that, like, the cuisine, but
yeah.
So I found a list of traditional foods and drinks for Mardi Gras, and my source for all the food is from allrecipes.com, and they will all be linked. And then
each individual recipe is linked.
Right. And then I found an article on the 10 classic New Orleans cocktails. So it's not necessarily traditional to Mardi Gras, but it's classic New Orleans cocktails. And that was on neworleans.com. But there's a lot of good shit here. Some that I've never heard of, some that I've never tried. But some that I have. So first we're going to start off, obviously, with the traditional Mardi Gras king cake. Now, we told you guys at the beginning of this episode, we just tried Mardi Gras king cake for the first time.
It was so good.
Fucking delicious.
It was so good.
This cake is traditionally made of brioche that's wreath shaped. It's cinnamon flavored with a frosted glaze that's colored with sugars and gold, green, and purple. And Brittany talked about the different meanings for those colors. Gold for power, green for faith, purple for justice. This cake symbolizes the unity of faiths. They can come with different fillings like cream cheese, but will always have a tiny plastic baby on the inside. Ours did have cream cheese in it.
Yeah.
It was so damn good. I got the fucking plastic baby. And
did.
he's hanging out with me. He's kind of cute. He's sitting on my laptop right here in front of us. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Total fan of the king cake. I do like a good cinnamon anything, really. Honestly, though.
Yeah.
Next on the list is shrimp po' boys.
Oh, I love a good shrimp po' boy.
So, I never knew what a po' boy entailed.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, we went to Panama City, and we went to Pineapple Willie's, and I ordered, like, a chicken po' boy or some shit. And it's literally just a sandwich with that on it. So, I was very underwhelmed about it. But shrimp po' boys is essentially a sub sandwich, but New Orleans style. It's filled full of some kind of meat, in this case shrimp, generally fried. But it's made with French bread. You can top it as you like, run it through the garden, but this article recommended a nice remoulade, sauce, and lettuce.
Yeah.
Next on the... were you going to add something?
I was just going to say one of our local restaurants has po' boys. I think you can get it with chicken, even though it's a fish place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next on our list is jambalaya. I fucking love jambalaya.
Me too. My dad used to make this, and I think another recipe that you're going to talk about.
Jambalaya is a bowl of heaven on earth. It's made with veggies, rice, and meat. This article recommended andouille sausage and some good old chicken. I am a huge fan of the andouille sausage. I don't do... Hold on a second. Cat.
She's like, what? I'm in my bag. That's my home. I live here now.
No, that's not your home. There was a plastic bag that she decided to move into. I'm not a fan of, like, smoked sausages or brats.
I usually get, like, a smoked sausage.
I don't like the texture of them.
I didn't used to.
I'm just not a huge fan. I can tolerate, like, a better with cheddar or something like that, but like I just don't like the texture. Now, andouille sausages changed my life.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Oh girl, it's so good. I will show you like the best brand to get later. But they are so good. But all of that, the veggies, the rice, and the meats all combined in one good pot is so good. So good. This next one is my personal favorite. Beignets.
I have mixed, and I still have yet to make them.
Oh, girl. You can buy, and I think that's what you have, is the Cafe du Monde, the mix, the beignet mix. Man, it's so good. That's like a Mother's Day tradition for us in our house. My husband will get up and make beignets for breakfast. Traditionally, they're just covered with powdered sugar, but we like to add, like, you know, you can get like strawberries and then like the jelly strawberry stuff that you use for like strawberry shortcake.
I don't like that jelly shit.
We put that on it. So good. But beignets are just fluffy little deep fried pastry pillows of pure happiness covered in the nectar of the gods, powdered sugar. It's kind of like a donut, but so much better. You can actually get beignets a lot of places. We went to...
even like Popeyes has them. I swear I've had them.
I don't think they have them anymore. If they do, they're not on the app menu.
I don't think they are.
We went to Gulf Shores. We went to Gulf Shores like New Year's, not this past like weekend of New Year's, but the year before. And we had beignets for breakfast at a little place that literally only served beignets. And they were so damn good. My kids love them. We can eat the shit out of them. The next one is a Muffuletta Sandwich. I love those things.
I don't even know what that is.
Girl, okay, let me tell you what that is. It's a sandwich made with Sicilian sesame spread. Sicilian sesame bread stuffed with salami, ham, cheese, and marinated olive salad. I could literally make myself sick off of these, and I have.
That does sound good.
So,
in my adventures for eating different things, that'd be something I would try.
I can tell you where to get one in Nashville.
Where?
What is it? Coco's Italian Restaurant and Market or whatever. So, I think it's 51st. You know where the old SunTrust building is with the gold dome?
Yes.
That little Italian place right behind it. So good. I used to order from there when I worked in West Nashville. Yeah. That would be lunch quite often. It was so good. Oh my gosh. They are so good.
I'll have to try it.
Here's one that I did not know about, being a Mardi Gras staple.
Yeah.
This goes back to when Mardi Gras started in the U.S. in Mobile, Alabama. Moon pies.
I saw it on the list, but I was like, I didn't know that had anything to do with it.
We're going to link the recipe for a copycat version where you can make your own moon pies, but they throw packaged moon pies from floats and have since the 1960s. I love a good moon pie.
I saw a TikTok recently because I don't care for them, but every once in a while I'll get a hankering. But this girl was like, I don't like moon pies, but I just found out you're supposed to warm them up. And she warmed it up, and then she take a bite out of it. She goes, I still don't like it, but it's better.
You ain't lived unless you put one of those in the microwave. My cousin got married this past summer in true Nashville style. You guys may know him. Maybe if you're into that kind of thing. He is the editor of the Sobros Network podcast. They do articles. They're kind of a big deal. I'm pretty sure he's won like Nashville's best editor, or was at least on the list to be. He was like nominated. That's the word I'm looking for. They're kind of a big deal. They've been,
and he's a cool dude.
He is really a cool dude, but
he's also really nice.
He is super nice. He's given us lots of tips and tricks for our podcast. But he got married this past summer, and the wedding, the favors, the table that some weddings will have with the favors and stuff were in true Nashville form, moon pies and goo clusters.
Yeah, I know he did a whole Sobros article on like everything they used for the wedding. I really liked that article. It was
definitely one of the best weddings I've ever been to.
Yeah.
It was so nice and it was so much fun. But yeah, moon pies are a Mardi Gras staple.
I had no idea.
New Orleans Creole gumbo. Gumbo is a good mix of okra, tomatoes. Is this filet? I don't know what that is. And seafood and sausage all swimming in a delightful dark roux. It's like a good soup that, if you love seafood, warms your soul. I don't eat seafood, so this is not something I'm going to eat.
I think I've tried a gumbo, but I don't think it was a good gumbo. But I would be willing to try a good gumbo.
I don't do seafood.
Especially now that I eat okra.
I love okra.
I did not care for okra. I thought, this is disgusting. It is slimy and gross. But now, I will go out of my way to order a side of okra.
I love okra. Give it to me any way you
or
want
if
to.
Danny gets a side of okra, I will steal some.
The next one on the list, crawfish etouffee. This is like a thick stew with buttery crawfish served over rice. And then the article says, and most everyone else recommend seasoning it with Tony Chachere's instead of cayenne pepper, though.
Yeah.
Tony Chachere's is a staple in my house. I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, I've got 2 different kinds. I've got the regular one, and we've got the big container of it. And then I've got a little one that's the blackened.
Ooh, I love blackened stuff.
And we'll put that shit in eggs.
Ooh, I bet that is good.
It's good. I put it in my hamburger helper because I make my own version of that.
The next one, authentic red beans and rice.
I love red beans and rice. This was the other thing my dad used to make all the time. But, I was a little weenie when I was a kid and, would pick out all the sausage.
Red beans and rice is just as the name implies. It's a delicacy that is a very time-consuming thing to make, but like most things, it's well worth the effort. I would also like to point out that it's best made the day before and then refrigerated until ready to heat and eat. Don't forget to add some spice with some Louisiana-made Tabasco.
I concur about the make the day before. It's the only thing that's... I'm a stickler for leftovers. It depends on what it is. But that, red beans and rice with some sausage in it, heat it up the next day. It's the best thing you've ever eaten.
Next one is barbecue shrimp. It is not barbecue shrimp the way you think it's going to be barbecue shrimp. Okay?
Yeah.
In fact, this shrimp never touches a grill. It's actually cooked in a skillet with herbs and spices, butter, and Worcestershire sauce. I can't say that's the word. The Worcestershire sauce. This one, you want to sop up every little bit of that sauce with some good French bread and don't waste a thing. There's actually a place here in town, the same fish place, I'm pretty sure, has it. My husband actually ordered it one time thinking, he was like, oh, that's different. Let's try that. And then he got it and he was like, there's nothing barbecue about this. And so when I saw this, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And had to tell him about it. I wish I ate shrimp, because I bet that's good.
Love shrimp.
Ugh.
I could just sit there and just eat. So a former friend of ours, we took a trip to Peoria, Illinois, and there is a fish market near the river, and we were staying on a houseboat, and we bought 2 pounds of fresh shrimp. It was cooked, so we didn't have to cook it. We go and sit on the dock on the river with our little drinky poos and our 2 pounds of shrimp and just go to town. And they were big and juicy. Oh, so good.
It looks good, but I just can't do the texture of it. I just can't.
I'm a texture gal, and it's like mandarin oranges. Do you eat mandarin oranges?
I fucking love.
They're
mandarin
like eating
oranges.
little brains. I like to squish them in my mouth.
I love them. So now we're on to the cocktails. I'm not a big drinker, but I enjoy a tasty beverage from time to time.
I do like a cocktail.
Yes.
I do like a good, especially a fruity.
But I'm like a 1 or 2 type gal.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not looking
done.
to get fucked up.
Yeah. We're not trying to do that again.
I can't anymore.
Some of these drinks are a little out there, they're a little weird, but when in Rome.
Yeah.
The first one is a Sazerac from the Sazerac, and I'm going to tell you where you can get them. Best place to get them. You can get this one at the Sazerac bar inside of the Roosevelt Hotel. It's considered to be America's first mixed drink, originally made with cognac, absinthe, Peychaud's bitters, and sugar, but can be made with whiskey instead of cognac. Now, I will tell you,
cognac is like an acquired taste.
I got this list from the New Orleans website that I mentioned earlier, but a lot of these I've seen made. My dad and I used to watch the show called Drinking Made Easy, and they did an episode in New Orleans. That was my favorite fucking show for forever. And I do remember seeing this one. Next on the list is Brandy Milk Punch from Brennan's. It's made with brandy, whole milk, powdered sugar, topped with nutmeg, and served on the rocks. They say it's a great brunch drink, but I'm not here for mixing your
god awful.
Don't put milk in my shit.
No. And I brandy.
Here's just a New Orleans staple.
Yeah.
A Hurricane from Pat O'Brien's. The Hurricane's been a hit since World War II. It's made with light and dark rum, passion fruit, orange and lime juice, and garnished with an orange slice and cherry on top. You can actually buy the signature mix at Pat O'Brien's. When we went to New Orleans, my sister got one. I don't know if it was from Pat O'Brien's. I don't remember. But, I venture to say she's going to yell at me for telling the story, because we've argued about it since then. I venture to say probably halfway through the first one, she was convinced that the sidewalk was leaning. And still to this day she'll argue that it was leaning, and Dad and I both are like, no, we're pretty solid. The next drink is called the French 75 from Arnaud's French 75 bar. It's champagne, gin, or cognac, and a hint of lemon. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like champagne. I like it in a mimosa.
Yeah.
I don't care for gin.
No, it's too dry.
And cognac's nasty.
I don't know that I've had it, but I have heard that it's not.
Now, this next drink, I'm going to butcher the fuck out of the name.
Join the club.
It's Veau Carré Cocktail, spelled V like Victor, IEUX, CARRE cocktail. You get this at the Carousel Bar at the Hotel Monteleone. This one is a sipper. Okay?
I like a good sipping
You don't
drink.
want to...
I like one that I can babysit.
Right. This one's made with rye whiskey, Peychaud's bitters, cognac, sweet vermouth, Benedictine, and Angostura bitters. So this one doesn't sound like it's real tasty. Bless you. I saw it coming.
It was already going.
Next on the list we have Pim's P-I-M-M, Pim's Cup from Napoleon House. This one you use Pim's No. 1, which is a gin-based liquor, lemonade, and 7-Up. It's a low alcohol content, so fuck it up with that one.
Yeah.
Ramos Gin Fizz from Victory. This one threw me for a loop, and this is part of the reason why I did not make the king cake this year, because effort. This one has to be shaken by hand for around 15 minutes.
Good Lord.
To have the right amount of foam.
Good.
It's made with gin, simple syrup, heavy cream, egg white, lemon juice, lime juice, orange flower water, and soda water. It does not sound appetizing.
It also sounds nasty.
And I'm not going to be that asshole that's like, yeah, let me get one of those so one of you fuckers has to handshake this for 15 minutes. No.
You better tip well if you're getting that.
Tip your bartenders. The next one is an absinthe frappe from the old absinthe house. I don't know why when I hear frappe, I think of frozen coffee.
Yeah.
It's made with absinthe, simple syrup, anisette, soda water, and garnished with a mint sprig.
All right then.
Absinthe doesn't sound great, to be honest.
No, and it's not what it was when it was first.
Right. You're not hallucinating green fairies.
Right. It's not causing total mental breakdowns.
Right. This next one I found interesting. Café Brûlot Diabolique from Antoine's. This drink is literally fire.
Is it on fire?
Yeah, literally. It's a coffee drink with brandy that is literally set on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
I like a good party trick like that.
The next one is any frozen cocktail from Bar 1908. Just any of them. These are some of the best frozen drinks that the city has to offer from this bar. Bar 1908.
Frozen drinks.
I'm good with a good frozen drink. I like a good pina colada. I love a good pina colada. I also love a good strawberry daiquiri.
I like a strawberry daiquiri. Pina colada tastes like sunscreen.
True. And I'm pretty sure in New Orleans there's places that's like drive-through that you can, and they've got like wall-to-wall.
That seems dangerous.
Adult slushy machines is what I like to call them. So that was the 10 from this list. I added a couple. I want to mention hand grenades.
Yeah.
Because when my husband and I were talking about going to New Orleans, my big thing was I wanted beignets for breakfast followed by hand grenades. Hand grenades are made with vodka, cognac, and orange juice. And you can get these at the tropical aisle. It's kind of a big deal there.
Yeah.
I saw that on Drinking Made Easy. We mentioned in the last episode, the New Orleans episode, you mentioned Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar.
Yeah.
So
Sorry I'm yawning so much.
It's only 10:40 at night.
Right.
From what I remember with this one, this drink, it's called the Purple Voodoo Daiquiri. So I saw this on Drinking Made Easy and I was like, I want to fucking try this.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it's made with bourbon, vodka, or Everclear. And a purple drink mix or grape juice and blended with ice. I'm thinking make your own with vodka or Everclear would be the best. Made with grape Kool-Aid. That's literally all it was.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm not. Everclear is nasty as hell. But like.
It's also strong as
fuck. Oh, fuck yeah. I've had a couple rounds with Everclear in the past couple of years.
I'm good.
But like. Vodka and grape Kool-Aid mix?
Yeah.
Fuck me all the way up with that.
That
sounds fantastic.
That sounds interesting.
It sounds fantastic. But what I also learned on that Drinking Made Easy episode, that Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop Bar, you mentioned it was the oldest building.
Yeah.
So if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm sorry I did not go back and rewatch, they mentioned that all the electricity in that bar is ran from the building next to it.
Yeah.
They don't have actual electricity in that bar.
Huh. Well, that almost seems like a fire hazard.
Right.
But if it's gotten them this far,
hey,
I'm sure it's fine.
Hey.
But yeah. I'm sure it's all up to code or whatever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. But
you can't just be having a business.
We're stealing
janky electricity everywhere. Right.
But yeah, that's my lists. I'm always down for the food and drink to talk about.
Well.
But yeah, that was all I had on that one for sure.
Well, for my non-profit of the week, pew, 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 pew,
is that what you were going for?
Yeah. Greenlight New Orleans. They provide sustainable solutions to individual homes and encouraging collective action to create a more resilient community. They have installed over 27,000 CFL light bulbs in homes and have built over 550 gardens and installed over 130 rain barrels throughout the greater New Orleans area since the nonprofit was founded in 2006. And what drew me to that one is the gardens. Because I think anything that provides... that gives a more food, more accessibility, I think, is great. Because if you haven't looked at the produce section at the grocery store lately, it's not great.
No.
Like, one avocado is over $1. And they go bad so fast.
I know. And then also, the price of eggs here lately.
Oh my gosh. I miss our chicken. R.I.P. Tahine. She was the best chicken. She had one leg. She died. We don't know of what. But I really miss that gal. Because I had to buy eggs for the first time in a while. And I was shocked.
So,
but yeah.
What do you think? All right, so say we go on a trip to New Orleans, research trip. What's the one thing you're looking forward to?
The French Quarter, I think. Even though I've heard it kind of smells like pee-pee.
Okay. That's part of it, bro.
Yeah. That's, I mean... and I'd like to see it during the daytime. I don't know about nighttime.
Yeah.
And just like, I don't know, museums, I'm always interested in doing. Yeah.
I think they have like is it a World War II museum out there?
I'm not sure. If I'm being honest. I've never...
Oh, what is that one museum that we both want to go to?
Oh, shit. Oh, that's the heat. I was like, what is that noise?
Hold on, I'm looking it up. New Orleans. Yes, there is a National World War II museum there. I do remember seeing that. Yeah. There is a historic voodoo museum down there. But what was that one that we both... You know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
That museum that I was like, oh, I gotta go to this. And because there's one somewhere else, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a murder something museum.
It's not the Museum of Death, is it?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't see it. I'm telling you, I fucking saw it whenever we were planning our trip.
Are you sure it was New Orleans?
Yeah, because it was when we were planning our New Orleans trip. It's literally the only trip I've been able to plan that's not somewhere that we go to on the regular.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about Savannah until like the last possible minute.
That's true. I have no idea. The art museum looks cool. I don't know.
There is one.
The Museum of Death?
Yep. Museum of Death. It's in New Orleans. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's on Dauphine Street. I knew I had remembered seeing something.
You didn't hallucinate it after all.
I didn't. That's... Not that I have hallucinations, but you know. Well, you know what?
My beads keep rubbing against
research
the table.
trip, Cafe Du Monde for breakfast.
For sure.
Coffee and chicory. Just for the nostalgia of the situation.
I don't know.
Choke it down, bro.
I'll do my best.
And
can
beignets.
I get it as an iced coffee?
Probably.
With like lots of milk in it?
Probably.
I'll do it then.
And then beignets. Trick about eating beignets, though, is you try and hold your breath when you bite into it. Otherwise, you're going to suffocate to death. That powdered sugar
what a way to go
down your lungs.
What a way to go.
Yeah, and then go get you some fucking good jambalaya.
Gumbo.
Red beans and rice for lunch.
Yeah. I'd try some gumbo. I know it's got fish in it. It's got...
Fucking wash all that down.
Water
with
creatures.
Purple voodoo. A good hurricane. I'm not a fan of the hurricane.
I don't know. If I can find somebody that makes like a purple hooter.
Purple hooter shooter?
Yeah.
She said, yeah.
It tastes like a sweet tart.
It does.
It's so good. There was a time in my life where that was my favorite drink, and I spent hundreds of my own dollars.
See,
and other people's dollars.
That's me with amaretto sours or liquid marijuana.
And then the group I was with was like, hey, why don't we switch it up? Get something else. I said, after like 4 of them, I bought 4 rounds at a bar in Florida. Spent a lot of my money. And they were like, why don't we get something else? Aren't you tired of these? And I was like, absolutely not.
Absolutely the fuck not.
I was like, if you want something else, you go get it.
Right. But yeah, guys, that's all we got. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Follow us on Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram.
TikToks.
Send us an email.
Wanderers of Weird
@gmail.com.
Share us out. Tell your aunt.
Tell your grandma. Download Spotify or any other modality for listening for her, and show her how to access us. Make sure we're the only podcast she's following.
Or better yet, just make it a whole thing and go spend time with your grandma, and y'all make it a weekly thing.
Y'all listen to it together. Spend time with your grandma.
Thing.
Or if you live too far away from her, call her and play it from your computer.
Zoom call.
Zoom call. There's
Zoom
no
call.
excuse.
No
Spend
excuses.
time with your grandma.
Not only are we doing good for these local communities with these nonprofits, but we're promoting family time.
Yeah, we're bringing families together.
Over Victorian era sex toys.
Make sure you play that one first for grandma, so she can reminisce.
Fun fact, my mom's very first episode that she listened to this, from what I'm understanding, was our Pick Your Poison episode. That was the worst one for her to start off with.
A good one to start with.
That was awful.
But
I'm real sorry we did that to you guys.
Yeah. Danny keeps saying, y'all need to do that more often. And I'm like, no.
No, he hated it. He hated every second of it because he had to deal with my...
He must not have hated it that bad because he keeps bringing it up.
Mm.
So if he wants to babysit, he's fine.
Next time he's getting kicked out the bed.
I just don't know if I've got it in me.
I do not got it in me.
It was too much.
That next day
we'll
was
celebrate
not
New
fun.
Year's a different way.
I'm here for that. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. Rate us, like us.
Yeah. Check out the nonprofit for the week. It'll be linked in the description.
Send us some spooky stories, some personal experiences.
Yeah, we'd really like some personal experience stories.
We're going to promote that. We're going to keep reminding you guys of that until they start rolling in, because we'd like to do a listener episode as well.
Yeah, we really, really want to do a listener-sode.
A listener-sode?
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.
Party hardy. Mardi Gras.
All right, bye.
Bye.